Nicholas E. Flanagan, E3, when I ended up in the Navy, ship fitter, metalsmith. I got transferred to San Diego, and after 7 months, aboard the Missouri, and I went aboard the carrier, USS Ticonderoga, CVA 14. Aboard ship, big. Well, you just look up, you can't see back down there, pure. You hear, oh, here comes my relief, here comes my relief. You know, people from yelling from the stern. And I went aboard. I was in engineering, so they said, what department do you want? You have your choice. They took me down the engine room. As soon as I started walking down that ladder, I said, whew, what a heat. I said, no, I don't think I like this. Then I went to the machine shop, and so I worked with a lathe in a high school, and I made a hammer and a couple of center punches on a lathe. And they told me right there in the machine shop, first thing you're going to do is go on mess cooking. I said, I just came off of 7 months of mess cooking. I said, so then they brought us up to the metal shop. I said, this is it. It's right on the hangar deck, and you had a porthole when you look at it. I mean, you had enough portholes down below. That was the only deck. But it was nice. Hot. Philippines. Mess cooking again for 3 months. They let me stay for I worked for about 2 months, and then, oh, you're going to mess cooking. I go, oh boy, here we go again. No, it was good idea. But aboard the carrier, about once a month they served liver, or cooked liver. And they always had hamburgers and hot dogs as a backup. Boy, the liver, as soon as you get right next to them, you couldn't smell it while you were in the passageway, waiting for your, pick up your knife, fork, and spoon, your tray. Then it hit you, the liver smell. Ooh, boy, that was bad. Now you're dealing with 3,500. But in our department, division, there was 75 people. Pipe fitters, carpenters, 1 locksmith, sheet metal shop workers. So it was like 25, 25, 25, you know, separated that way. So it was a bigger compartment to sleep in, except when you reached the Philippines, they had water restrictions. And they turned off the water like 8, 9 o'clock at night. Because they had to save the water. The water was mainly used, or they had a reserve so much water for the catapults. They couldn't shoot, they couldn't make steam out of salt water, or the purifiers, but they took the salt out of the water. They couldn't handle it in the Philippines. They couldn't keep up with the showers for 35 men, and plus the cooking. So they turned, there was no drinking water. It was hot. And you take a shower, and by the time you reached, say, that desk over there to shave, you were sweating again. It was brutal. And now I hear ships are all air conditioned. Boy, that'd be nice. But it was good duty. Another 3 meals a day and a movie every night. But then yeah, it was good. I learned a lot. And during the spare time, I go up above decks, above the flight deck. I watch the planes land, take off. I have quite a few pictures of it. Very exciting. I'm glad they all made it off, you know, and landed, because they were, I don't know the speed, the catapult shot them off, a steam catapult shot them off. And they were under full power, I assume, when they took off. And of course we were heading into the wind, giving more lift. When they were landing, there was like 4 cables. And they had like a hook coming down from the bottom of their aircraft and a tail section, which supposed to catch one of the hooks. But they came in at 100 miles an hour. And if they didn't launch forward, they could automatically put their throttle at full speed and they go off what they call an angle deck. They wouldn't interfere with the other aircraft forward. Some missed. I mean, there was one instance. See, the flight deck was separate. They had their own damage control with their own firemen. But I do remember going up and I seen an aircraft. He came in for a hard landing, I guess they call it, and he broke the nose gear. So he caught the hook, but he broke the wheel, the front wheel. And they just got this thing. We had like a crane, and just towed it to, I guess, to the elevators, and they took it down below, and where they repaired it on a hangar deck. They repaired it. It did have. It was either 6 or 8 prop jumps. 8 spads. But it could be another name, but SPADS. That's what they call them. But yeah, we had, but the rest were all jets. Well, we got hit one time in the South China Sea. I just got off the Navy would be a 20 to 24 hour watch. That would be 8 at night to midnight. And just got in my bunk. And all of a sudden the ship went to the starboard, hard starboard. And then, bam. And then the general quarters sounded, so everybody went to their station. And truthfully, I'll tell you right now that I went to the bathroom I had diarrhea. And I went to the bathroom 3 times before I got to where I was supposed to go. Well, come to find out, one of our escort destroyers, it was a destroyer, but he was just one of our escorts. He lost power. They do screening around, like 4 destroyers keep making turns, submarines, and he lost power. And luckily they turned the ship to starboard because he hit us right on the flight deck, tore the anchor off the destroyer, and he went back into the Philippines. He had to go astern, he couldn't go forward because they were taking on water. And we put a few water pumps, and sent them over by helicopter, I believe, and a couple of welders trying to help them out. But yeah, we didn't know until like 7 o'clock the next morning, so 7 hours. We had no phones, we had no idea. It was like 8 of us in the one station. And we had no idea what's going on because no telephone, no headgear. We just waited till the all clear, come over to the PA system. That was scary. And then we had to weld patch our own ship up because it was above the water line. So we patched it up, and then we got into the Philippines ourselves, and they did the exterior work. That was a scary thing. They sounded the wrong alarm, I believe, instead of collision alarm. Well, at least everybody got to where they were supposed to go, I hope. And so we sat there for like a little after midnight to 7 in the morning. Didn't know what was going on or anything. Well, we just had to put a steel plate, like 1/8-inch steel plate. I guess I don't see that. Or 1/4-inch steel plate. It was just a tear where the anchor tore the ship and side, and then it actually, when it came to this undercarriage on the flight deck, then it stuck on the undercarriage. It was like a hang of 45 grand, and then broke the chain. So it was it. Then we went back and hit the port. Yeah. Well, we welded for 3 days, like around the clock, because you had to put some big sheets of steel up there. So that was exciting. I went around the career of it because when it was time for me to re-up, he said, time to re-up. I said, yeah, okay. And I said, what do I do now? He said, well, you're going shore duty. I said, I hope, I'm glad, because after 3 years, unfortunately. And I said, for how long? She said, 1 year. 1 year. I plan on getting married. I mean, and then what? Oh, you go back another carrier for another 3 years. She said, yeah. I said, no. I said, I'm not re-upping. No, that's no way to start a marriage. I don't know. I didn't like that, because you're away on the carrier like 8 months. And you were gone, you know. We went to South Pacific. We went to the same place, Far East. I mean, it was the same place. Japan, Philippines. The only nice place was Hong Kong and Hawaii. And you only stayed there like a week at a time. Over 9 months. A 2-week period in Hong Kong. Hawaii, you didn't have the money to go ashore. You went ashore, but we went to an army base and just put our bathing suits on. But I liked the carrier. There's little movies every night, same different movie, 3 meals a day. I liked it. Then I came home, and that was it. I only served 3.5 years because I was in like what they call a kiddie cruise. If you join before you're 18, you get out the day before you're 21.